going on? What's going on, world? What's going on, boxing world? It's your boy Ryan Frazier. I'm coming back with another one on Boxing Talk Up North. Today we're speaking on Lomachenko, man. His victory this past Saturday over George Kambosos, and what does that set up for the future, or is there a future? Was that just a fight for him to get another title and then call it quits? Or does that mean he really wants to complete his goal of being undisputed at 135? I know that's something that he's been trying to accomplish for quite a few years now, and it's been his mission. He's been close twice. He's had opportunities, and he's fell short twice. So I mean, maybe third time's a charm. But Vasily Lomachenko looked great on Saturday night. I thought that was a resurgence of him. I thought, he looked more motivated, and maybe George Kambosos isn't who we thought he was. Maybe he's the Buster Douglas of our generation, but nonetheless, I know George is a warrior, and he wasn't about to go in there and quit. He wasn't going to say no mas. His corner had to do it for him. He was going to go out on his shield regardless. And shout out to George for being a warrior, stepping in there with one of the greats. Lomachenko's gonna go down as an all-time great, I believe. And it's a testament of just basically of what's going on here in boxing. You got a lot of exciting possible fights. And I say possible because there's so much politics in boxing. There's so much that can go on that can alter a fight. And basically we don't know what the next move is. Vasily Lomachenko Vasil, sorry, I keep saying Vasily. Vasil Lomachenko might just say, got another title. Here he dedicated that fight to his dad, and that might be it. I just heard a recent interview or post fight interview where he said he's tired, man. And that he wants to be with his family, and those are talks of retirement, right? Those are when you hear guys saying like, I'm not feeling it no more. I'm not into doing 8 months, or sorry, 8 week camps, and staying away from my family. It sounds like Vasil, he's kind of like thinking retirement, if I'm taking from it. But as a fighter, maybe that was just a moment right after a fight. A lot of emotions are still high. Maybe he sits back down next month and says, maybe I could do this. Maybe I can do it this year or do it within a year. For him to do it, he'd have to face possibly the winner of May 18th fight, Navarrete versus Baranchek for the WBO title. He'd have to go right into that fight probably in September, September fight or August, late August fight. And then you're looking at, obviously, we're all thinking Shakur Stevenson's going to beat Artem on July 6th. And then Shakur has another fight probably around October or November. And then early next year, we got Vasil Lomachenko versus Shakur Stevenson for 3 belts. That could be a possibility. But I don't know, man, because the way Shakur Stevenson is spinning this, like top rank, which I guess his last fight is July 6th with them on his deal. I'm guessing what's happening is Shakur has not re-signed, so they're not going to guarantee him Lomachenko fight until he resigns. And I don't know if that's Shakur Stevenson saying, make sure you write in that contract that Vasil Lomachenko will be this year, 2024, or next fight, or whatever. Or if that's literally Shakur saying that Top Rank doesn't want to match him up. Which I doubt, man. I don't think Lomachenko's running from Shakur Stevenson, to be honest. But we'll see. We'll see where it goes because a lot of it hangs in Shakur. He could be a free agent and bump around, but then again, if that happens, he won't be prioritized. He won't be guaranteed the Lomachenko fight, and then Lomachenko's not guaranteed another unification belt, so he might just bow out. He might be like, "Yo, what's the point of chasing these guys and making this difficult when he's getting older? He's not getting younger. He's getting older. But impressive performance by Lomachenko. Congratulations to his team and him on getting that win, and him looking so good. Level changes in and out. George was just outgunned, man, outclassed. Couldn't keep up. Couldn't slow down Lomachenko. Really, he tried. He tried in the early rounds with targeting the body to invest in it, but he just didn't land it enough. I think there was like one round where it was like 12 punches landed to two. And it's like, man, you can't get outlanded like that or miss a lot of shots like that in a round and expect not to get winded. So it was definitely a tough goal for George. Um, shout out to him for holding that down. There was a lot of people in the arena for that fight. So George Campos has done well for himself as being a draw in Australia. But Sil Lomachenko moves up, moves on, and he could possibly get bigger and better fights. I know we saw Gervonta Tank Davis tweeting about he wanted Lomachenko next. And then Shakur was saying, Top Rank won't give him to me. So, those are two big fights for Lomachenko if he can get those fights. It's just a matter of is he past the hill? All those guys too young, I'm too fresh to beat Lomachenko. I think that's something that his team, obviously he said he's gonna take some time before he makes his next decision, which he should. And yeah, you should sit down with your family, enjoy your family, and then yeah, figure out what you want to do. But I do want to see, just as a selfish boxing fan, obviously you want to see one of the better fighters in the sport go for undisputed, and I would love to see Lomachenko and Shakur Stevenson. I know it's not a casual fight. It's not appealing to the casual fan, but to somebody who loves boxers and guys who are technicians and who can master manipulate the ring and outsmart the other fighter. I love watching that in real time, man. And you can see it breaking down, right? Like we've all seen it. Certain guys where they just round after round, heating up, moving up, and other guys declining because can't figure the guy out, which was kind of the case in Saturday night's fight with Lomachenko and Kambosos. Lomachenko got the 11th round stoppage, first stoppage first stoppage defeat, sorry, of Kambosos' career. I've never seen him be stopped before. I've seen him be dropped, but not stopped. So that's a testament also to Lomachenko. And Lomachenko, he's a small guy. Like he's always fighting up. He's probably more naturally a 30 pounder. Yeah, might even be able to still make 26. I don't know. He's an older guy, so but definitely a 30 pounder naturally. So he's always fighting up. He's not fighting down. He's not a weight bully. He's always fighting up. So George Campos is one of the more smaller 35 pounders in the division. So that probably helped a lot with Lomachenko's success. But that saying, he's still a way better fighter. There was nothing George could do. He was pitching a shutout that night, in my opinion. I didn't give personally any rounds to Cambosis. And if I did, it was probably just what I'm saying, like man, I gotta get this guy one round. That's what type of moment it was. But I didn't think at any point George was gonna turn it around. And it looked like, George knew and accepted that, and he was just looking for the one shot knockout, which I don't think he has the power to knock out anybody in one punch. But you can see he was just trying to look for a counter that wasn't there, and Lomachenko realized that as well and was in and out, very cautious. He didn't really stay in that pocket too long to get hit with anything in return. So yeah, man, I think a lot of this balance of what moving forward is gonna hold up with Shakur Stevenson. Obviously, Navarrete and Baranchek are fighting next weekend coming up. So maybe that's a fight already that's been discussed with Top Rank and the Sales team as being the next fight. Quick turnaround. It could be for both guys, Navarrete if he wins and Lomachenko, because they both kind of fought a week apart. So they both have the same amount of time off and they can get that unification belt and big promo rolled out on ESPN and get it announced quickly. Or Tank Davis say he wants to fight. I think he's fighting on June 15th. So maybe after his fight, if he is serious with what he's saying, nothing's in writing. That'd be a cross promotion fight, which is always a harder fight to make. And maybe I don't know if he's right, then maybe we get Tank and Vasil Lomachenko later on later in the year, probably in December. You know, Tank's only gonna fight twice a year, but that'd be a good fight for him. Obviously, Frank Martin's already a good name for Tank, and then Vasil, that'd be a good year for Tank. But I don't know, man. I just cross promotion fights are just tough to make in the sport for some reason. A lot of boxing politics, but only thing that if Big Turkey Sheik was involved with that, then obviously then that's a little different because the money's there, right? You have somebody putting up the money. But when it's like you don't have somebody of that, you know, money pile putting the fight up, then you can't really guarantee nothing. Can't get too excited. You just gotta kind of sit back and watch how all the chips fall because as a boxing fan, if you've been in the sport a long time, there's a lot of politics, man, that go behind these fights. And a lot of A side, B side, and networks and all this other stuff that stop fights, and it's very common. But as far as I'm concerned, a lot of the 35 belts are over in Top Rank's favor. So there are a lot of fights there for Lomachenko to take. Just a matter of fact of is he retiring? Does he want to do it? And, those are two different things because he may want to do it, but he said he was tired, man. So he wants to spend time with his family, and that's a man, in my opinion, who's ready to retire. So who knows? Maybe he rides off into the sunset with this win as a IBF titleist, and maybe he vacates the belts, and Shakur Stevenson and Tank. Maybe that's our big fight in 35. But as it sits now, 35 is really in a good position as you got Shakur Stevenson with the WBC belt. You got Javante Davis with the WBA belt. You got Lomachenko for the IBF belt. And then the WBO belt will be on the line this coming weekend as Navarrete versus Baranchek. The winner of that will be the champ. And a lot of three of those belts are over at Top Rank. So there's fights for Shakur Stevenson if he wants to re-sign with Top Rank. I think it's just a matter of how long he'd want to re-sign the deal, how many fight deal. Your second deal, Shakur Stevenson. I know you haven't been on pay-per-view yet, but I just think you shouldn't sign anything long term because there's a lot of options even at 40 if he decides to move up. And there's a lot of noise he can make. There's a lot of money out there to be made. So we'll see what Shakur Stevenson does. But in the meantime, Vasil Lomachenko, that was an amazing performance. Good to see you back in the mix. It's good to see you dedicate that win to your father, who I'm sure has got a quick turnaround over to Saudi Arabia to go be in Usyk's corner and help him try to complete, undisputed heavyweight championship this coming weekend down in Saudi Arabia on the big card there. And yeah, man, I think we're excited. We're excited to see what transpires from this. Sorry, and basically, as a boxing fan, Lomachenko's always good to watch. He's always easy on the eyes because he's always a offensive fighter, right? He's always in offensive mode with his feet and his hands, and basically he's one of the guys that are going to be an all-time great because of his overall body performance, like from being a 400 win amateur, two-time gold medalist, and then winning a title in his second pro fight. Like this guy's he's accomplished a lot of feats early in his career, and though he has like I think 20 something fights, he's the names on his resume. We all know him pretty much. So he's been in the ring with top competition in all of his professional bouts. So the guy's definitely a first ballot Hall of Famer, all time great. Vasil Lomachenko, thank you for that performance this past weekend. You look great, buddy. And I hope to see more from him, to be honest. I hope he finishes out 2024. He doesn't have to get all the belts in my eyes, but if he fights Navarrete or Shakur, that'd be great for us, as boxing fans, getting an extra fight out of such a good fighter. And yeah, man, it looks like he's ready, but he said he's tired, man, and I'm concerned about that. When I hear that stuff and family, I think retirement. He's probably made more than enough money. He's been a prize fighter he's been a world champ since his second fight, so he's been a prize fighter since then. So I'm sure he's doing well. Um, doesn't seem like a flashy guy at all, so I'm sure the money's saved. But shout out to Vasil Lomachenko on that win, and make sure you smash the like button, subscribe. I'm try to bring more content a little more often, guys. Just working shift works a little tough, but you know how it is. Shout out to boxing. We love you, man. It's your boy Ryan Fraser, Boxing Talk Up North. Go follow me on Instagram, Boxing Talk Up North, all one word. And yeah, peace. We'll be out.